I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Degree candidates and guests, all department ceremonies this afternoon will take place in fair weather locations. These locations are listed on the last 2 pages of the finals program. And now, the president of the university.
Mr. Rector, members of the Board of Visitors, Governor McAuliffe, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today marks the end of the 186th academic session. These exercises are the university's most joyful occasion when we gather to award degrees and to celebrate the achievements of the graduating class. Today, for the first time, we are conferring degrees on the candidates from the College and Graduate School of Arts and Sciences on their own. Tomorrow, we will confer degrees on the candidates from the university's 10 other schools and the Data Science Institute. All members of the class of 2015 and their families can join in the spirit of celebration that will last all weekend. I should acknowledge that we are celebrating this weekend's final exercises without some of our student athletes. Members of the men's and women's track and field teams are competing in the ACC championships. The men's golf team is competing in the NCAA Regional. Our baseball team is playing at the University of North Carolina. The men's and women's tennis teams are competing in the NCAA tournament. And the women's rowing team is competing in the ACC championships. We wish all of these student athletes the best of luck. Our music today is provided by the 392nd Army Band from Fort Lee, Virginia, under the direction of Warrant Officer 1 Kevin L. Pick. And the Army, Navy, and Air Force ROTC students presented the colors. Please join me in a round of applause for them. As we begin, I would like to recognize an important member of our leadership team who will soon step down from his post. John Simon is stepping down as Executive Vice President and Provost next month to become President at Lehigh University. John has influenced the university in many ways, and I'm grateful for his service. Today's celebration is a celebration of the efforts of families as well as students. For parents whose sons and daughters receive degrees today, we acknowledge your commitments that began long before your students came to study here. Our admiration extends to the grandparents, aunts, uncles, other family members and friends who supported, nurtured, and encouraged these men and women in their academic careers. We also recognize the spouses and children of some of our students who made sacrifices and offered encouragement to make this day possible. Students, will you please join me in applauding your family members? These final exercises celebrate the contributions of our teaching, research, and support faculty, and the staff members who work in many different occupations across the grounds. Each diploma symbolizes the vitality of our faculty's endeavors, their passion for learning, their efforts to engage others in intellectual discourse, their ability to inspire the pursuit of knowledge. Staff members provide crucial support for our academic enterprise. Our graduating students are the beneficiaries of the hard work and dedication of both our faculty and staff. Students, will you join me in a round of applause for the faculty and staff members? But the greatest accomplishment belongs to those of you who earn your degrees today. You have earned your degrees at a university that stands as a national and global emblem of excellence in public education. You have participated thoughtfully and actively in building foundations of quality within the university for today and for tomorrow, an effort that adds durable value to the degree conferred on you today. You have committed yourselves to values that define this university: honor, service, diversity, leadership, accountability for yourself and your peers. You have lived what you have learned. Today, you achieve your degrees. Tomorrow, the knowledge and habits of mind that you acquired here will become tools for understanding the world to which you go. Please applaud yourselves.
The Rector of the University.
Greetings. What a glorious day. On behalf of the Board of Visitors, I offer best wishes to our graduates and their families and friends in attendance today. This is a celebration of your achievement. Graduates, today, you will become members of the Alumni Association of the University of Virginia. All of us gathered here are proud of your accomplishments, and we are confident that your future is even brighter. At certain points in the coming days, and perhaps already in your spare time, many of you will contemplate some very important questions. This is no ordinary time in your lives, and to reflect on purpose, uncertainty, and your future is only natural. While I cannot offer you all the answers, allow me to remind you of how your time at the university has provided you with the tools necessary to find the answers for yourselves. As administrators, educators, and advisors, we have endeavored to convey with an infectious enthusiasm the principles upon which this university was founded: honor, integrity, service to others, civility, responsible citizenship, student self-governance, open and robust inquiry, and leadership development. These are the beacons that have lit the way for the many graduates who came before you. And now you too will continue the legacy of this university by carrying forth your knowledge and talents into a world that dearly needs them. While today is indeed a snapshot and an important moment in the tradition of students past and present, it is more so a celebration of what has made this class distinct. The achievements and contributions you have made, the obstacles you have overcome along your journey. These are the reasons for all of the smiles and perhaps even tears on your faces, those of the faculty, and those of your friends and family. Be they the contributions you've made to furthering the academic engines of inquiry and research on grounds, or your efforts to enhance the safety and well-being of the university community for future members. Rest assured that your time here has been impactful. While it has been our goal to impart to you the wisdom and skills that will enable you to succeed in whatever path you choose, the exchange of ideas and your energy and passion has changed us all. So, to the graduates, I offer a thorough thank you and suggest you take a moment to thank each other. For after all, we are nothing but for the connections we have with each other. And I know that important and meaningful connections occur on grounds every day. Whether it's a smile from Miss Kathy in the morning, or a visit to a professor during office hours, or the support of a friend during a moment of stress, the human connections forged here are the life vests that keep us afloat and the bonds that give our lives meaning. Now, graduates, as you walked the lawn this morning, you passed a newly planted tree in front of Pavilion 2. This white ash tree was planted on Founders Day to honor the lives of the slaves who helped build this great university. Also, on June the 12th, we will dedicate our newest residence hall, Gibbons Hall, in honor of two former slaves who founded a local school and a local church. Although this is but a gesture, It is an important acknowledgement. Indeed, we cannot undo the injustices suffered, nor do we pretend to excuse them. But we can recognize the contribution of enslaved peoples to the University of Virginia. They, like the great architect himself, were proud of their contribution to this great undertaking. So, graduates, just like the university paused and reflected and considered the need to say thank you, you should do the same. The people involved in your success today are in all likelihood too numerous to count. But in the spirit of the day, I will give it the old college try. To our outstanding faculty and staff that work hard to provide the best academic environment possible, we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude. For many of you, they have been more than teachers. They have offered counsel and advice on career paths and personal issues and important decisions that will shape your future. Speaking now to the parents and family members, I offer my heartfelt thanks. You have known these outstanding students long before their tenure here at the university. Here, your loved ones sit, ready to become alumni of this noble institution. You can be proud of them as we are. Perhaps some of you are alumni yourself. Your continuing support of the goals and means of the university are not taken for granted, and we are thankful for such a loyal and committed network of alumni. For those of you who will be the first in your family to graduate from the University of Virginia, or perhaps any institution, know that you are entering into a global fellowship bound by a common experience of world-class education. To you, President Sullivan, to my fellow members of the Board of Visitors, and to the deans and vice presidents sitting here, I also say thank you. For it has been a labor that knows no boundaries of space nor time. While the challenges of this year have been tremendous, you have persevered and strengthened this place. We are all indebted to you for your service. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not express my gratitude to Dean Groves, Vice President Lampkin, Dean Aramo, and all of those who dealt with the events of this past year with compassion and courage. As a community, this university dealt with heartbreak and reflected upon its imperfections with honesty and resolve. Indeed, this institution is far from perfect. Nevertheless, as the rector, I tell you, it is a special place. Special because of everyone I've mentioned today, and because as a whole, we are greater than the sum of our parts. No score in the Princeton Review or the Wall Street Journal will ever capture the magic that happens when you combine an enthusiastic and involved student body with a talented and caring faculty and a committed and loyal staff, all tucked in a beautiful and historic setting. So to the graduates, I ask only that you use the tools you have acquired here to offer your skills and service to those around you. The leadership and knowledge that you have honed in the past few years have set you up well for any challenges that may present themselves. And again, to the graduates and your parents, on behalf of the Board of Visitors, I offer you a heartfelt congratulations. May God bless you richly. Honor to introduce our speaker for today, a determined public servant, entrepreneur, and family man. Governor McAuliffe has shown a willingness to embrace the unpredictable, to be aware of and step into the opportunities that emerge from a committed approach to work and service. an approach we've tried hard to impart to you, our graduates, during your time here. Sworn in on January the 11th, 2014 as the 72nd Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, he has since pursued his goals of improving the strength and competitiveness of the Commonwealth's economy through developments in transportation, the attraction of private industry, and global investment, as well as the improvement of the education system, to ensure that students like you enter the workforce equipped and prepared for the challenges of today and the future. A more prosperous Virginia is a worthy goal, but equally important is that access to this prosperity is shared among all citizens. In this regard, the governor's record is exemplary. Among other things, he has expanded the scope of Virginia Values Veteran Initiative, recognizing that those who have sacrificed for our country deserve quality opportunities in education and employment. Though he was born in Syracuse, the governor has called Virginia home for at least 2 decades. Along with his wife, Dorothy, and their 5 children, he has supported and continues to support the national and local organizations and charities such as Make-A-Wish Foundation, Catholic Charities, and the Martin Luther King National Memorial Foundation. He is also a lifetime member of the NAACP. Perhaps, if anything is more relevant, the fact that this governor has shown a commitment to you, the students here at the University of Virginia. As the parents, relatives, faculty, and staff, and others in attendance today well know, life's path is not easily predicted. There will be times of adjustment and even readjustment. By remaining resilient, persistent, and focused, you will be prepared for what may come your way and will stay true to the course that you would realize, that will allow you to realize the talents and gifts you can offer to others. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you a man that exemplifies these principles. And on a personal note, I want to thank the governor, who has been very supportive of the university and me personally. And I thank you, Governor, for what you've done for the University of Virginia, as well as higher education. Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor of Virginia.
Good morning, everybody. You fired up? Great. Thank you, Rector Martin, for that kind introduction. And let me say this, folks. As governor in Virginia, I can say whatever the heck I want. And I'm telling you today, the University of Virginia is the greatest school in Virginia and in the United States of America. Wahoo-wah! President Sullivan, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, proud parents and loved ones, and above all, the graduating class of 2015, it is an honor to be with you in the great land of Thomas Jefferson, the University of Virginia. I know this year that you've experienced what it's like to be at the center of the public eye. I can tell you, someone who's been in national politics for over 40 years, I understand that feeling, and I know that sometimes it is difficult. But let me say this, on behalf of every citizen of the Commonwealth of Virginia, we are all proud of you. You showed the world that this university can triumph over any obstacle because of the education and values this fine institution instills in its students every single day. As governor, I travel all over the Commonwealth, and I must say this, folks, there is no place like Charlottesville, Virginia. The grounds of UVA are filled with history and traditions, from the Rotunda to the world-famous Little John's, to our favorite place to cheer on the best basketball team in America, John Paul Jones Arena. Not only are you home to the 2-time defending ACC regular basketball champions in men's basketball, But over the last 4 years, you've won bragging rights for NCAA championships in women's rowing, men's tennis, men's soccer. And I was just informed for the first time in your history, you have placed in college snowboarding. Congratulations. I am here to congratulate all of you for the hard work that you put in today's achievement. I also, too, want to thank the professors, the parents, the family, and friends of the support that they've offered you graduates to help you reach this milestone. I know they've asked you to clap for them, but folks, that was a weak clap. Let me say this. I want all the graduates to stand and give the loudest cheer for your parents, your faculty, and everybody who got you here today. Now, the class of 2015, I know it's hot, and I was sitting where you were 36 years ago, and there's nothing worse than a long commencement speech. So start your watches. I will be up and down in 10 minutes. That's always a great applause line. Folks, I'm here to congratulate you for the hard work that you put into your achievement and to give you just a little bit of advice. There are 3 things that I have told my 5 children as they plan their careers. I've always said to follow their passions and do what they love to do. And today they are doing exactly what they love because they follow these 3 simple pieces of advice. Last year I had a daughter graduate from college. She immediately went over to Africa to save elephants. Who knew? On Friday, I'll have a son graduate from the U.S. Naval Academy and will be commissioned as a 2nd lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps. Saving elephants, fighting ISIS. It's all together, folks. It's following what you want to do. My advice has always been 3 simple things. Think big, always take chances, and never, ever be afraid to fail. Let's start with the first one, thinking big. I don't know if many of you know how I started my career. When I was 14 years old, I realized that the only way I would be able to go to college was to pay for it myself. So I knew at 14 that I had to start my own business. I had no idea what that would be till one day I was walking home and I saw a gentleman out tarring his driveway. He was sweating, he was cursing, laying that hot tar on driveways. I said, that's it. I went home and typed up a letter, handed it out to my neighbors. I had 6 jobs my first day. I went and ordered business cards, McAuliffe Driveway Maintenance, Terrence R. McAuliffe, president. There was only 1 employee. But folks, I was in business. I had a successful first year. Second year, I said, I gotta go big. I gotta start doing parking lots. But in order to do parking lots, you gotta buy that tar in huge barrels, 55-gallon barrels of tar. They're heavy. You need a big truck, about it from here to the end of this platform. So I called up my Uncle Billy Byrne, who owned a dairy, and I said, Billy, you gotta have one of these old trucks. He said, yeah, we got some all out in the field. He said, if you can get one started, you can have it. I drove out there to North Syracuse, some gas, some oil, spark plugs. I worked on this truck for about 2 hours. Huge truck. I'm 15 years old. But folks, I remember to this day, I still get chills. When I turned that ignition in this gigantic truck, and that engine roared to life, I took it out of that field and I drove it down Interstate 81. I passed the state trooper substation. They're all out having coffee. I am honking the horn, I am waving. I have no driver's license, and I have no license plates. But folks, I was in business. I thought big as a young man. And I gotta tell you, that feeling I still have to this day. I never thought that by starting that driveway business, I would go on to start several dozen companies, become our nation's youngest bank chairman at the age of 30. I have been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've seen the ups and downs. Some investments you make money, some you lose money. But the point is, you gotta be in that arena. It's important. So I don't want the parents to think here I'm telling your children to take up driveway sealing. But I do hope as you begin the next phase of your lives that you act boldly, that you think big, and you think big now. The second piece of advice I have for you is to take chances. You will never, ever achieve your goals if you're not willing to take some risk and chance. My greatest lesson, the power of taking chances, changed my life. I was your age. I was 22 years old. I was attending Georgetown Law School the first month in school. Lived in a big group house, 14 guys, keg in the tub, the whole deal. I had a buddy of mine come home who lived in the house and said, "You want to go work on President Carter's re-election?" Didn't look good, the prospects of him being re-elected. So I called my mother, who was not happy about me leaving law school to go work on what could have been a doomed presidential campaign, which it ultimately was. But I took a chance. I left law school. As a young man at 22 years old, I ended up going to 40 states. I'd only been to 2 in my life before that. I ended up raising more money than anyone else. I'd never done it before, but for some reason, people like to give me money. What's the worst thing, folks, they could say to you? No. I wouldn't have had a date in high school if I took no for an answer. So, I ended up doing that and becoming our nation's youngest finance director of a presidential campaign ever. But had I not taken that chance and that risk, I wouldn't be standing here today. So I just want you to take some risks, take some chance. That chance changed my life. Now, I'm not telling the parents here either that I want you to leave graduate school to go work on a presidential campaign. But if you do, I got a great woman you could possibly work for, but... Right, it's time for a woman to be president of the United States of America. They've done it everywhere else, we can do it here in America. But what I honestly hope that you do remember from today, that there is a difference between accepting a comfortable life and reaching out for an exceptional life. When I look back at all the experiences I've had, I'm glad I took that chance. Each of you will have opportunities to make decisions like the one I made that will change your life. Taking every risk that comes your way is not wise, but neither is passing on every opportunity out of fear of the risk of the unknown. Finally, my last piece of advice is a follow-up to the previous 2. If you are bold, if you take chances, guess what? You are going to fail. You are going to experience rejection at times. But folks, please, please, don't ever be afraid to fail. Few people are more qualified to offer this advice than I am. As I've said, I've seen it in business, the ups and downs in business. But I have also failed miserably in politics. As some of you may recall, I actually applied for this current job more than once. Back in 2009, I decided to run for governor because I thought I could make this Commonwealth a better place. I had a good life. I had a great career. I enjoyed what I was doing. And everybody said, "Terry, you cannot do it." First of all, in Virginia, if one party wins the White House, the other party wins the governor's mansion. This had gone on for over 30 years, so it wasn't likely that a Democrat would be elected in 2009. Second, they said, "You're a New Yorker and you want to run for governor of Virginia?" Oh, okay. They said you never held elective office before. But you know what? I wasn't afraid to fail. I started a campaign and brought my case to the voters, traveled all over the Commonwealth. And I said, we need to change Virginia. Think big, renewable energy, high-speed rail, take us to the next level. And I said, if you don't like my big ideas, don't vote for me. And you didn't. That's all right, I had a great time. But I do remember waking up the next morning, having fallen so far short of my goal, and deciding if that's really what I wanted to do, and I meant what I said in the campaign about creating jobs and making Virginia a better place for families, then I just would have to do it again. So the next day, I suited back up and got back out there. When the first campaign began, I didn't know how the journey would end. And I ran a very unique campaign the second time around. I said, Virginia has to be open and welcoming to everyone. You want to diversify an economy? I told women I would be a brick wall to protect their rights because a woman's decision should be between them and their doctors. To be open and welcoming for businesses, you had to be open to members of the LGBT community, and I'm proud I was the first candidate in the entire South statewide to come out for marriage equality. And guess what, as governor, I actually have performed a gay marriage, and the sky didn't fall in, folks. All we've done is create more jobs here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So I got back out there, and guess what happened? I won, and I am now the 72nd governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, folks. So tonight, when you go to bed, and that head hits the pillow, I want one thing on your mind. Patrick Henry, Thomas Jefferson, Terry McAuliffe. Isn't this a great country? So folks, let me just say this. Failure is a part of life. It's really what you do the next day that really counts. I hope you will adopt some of the advice I've given you today. Think big, take chances, and don't be afraid to fail. In closing, I just want to give you a few other little things I've learned along the way. Number one, there is no such thing as a bad day. Every day you wake up has the potential to be a great day. And if you're having bad days, then get in a new line of work, folks. Do something about it. Never take yourself too seriously, and always be positive. People want to be with winners, not whiners. No negative energy. Do what you want to do. It's your life. You only live once, folks. Sleep. YOLO. Yeah, I get it. Sleep when you're dead. You don't get a second shot at life. And finally, if you remember one thing from today, in whatever you do, always, always have fun. I thank you for having me here today, and I am expecting great things out of the class of 2015. Go Hoos!
Thank you, Governor McAuliffe. And now the chair of the University of Virginia Alumni Association Board of Managers.
Gentlewomen and gentlemen of this university, good morning. I'm quite confident that Mr. Jefferson is most pleased with the pageantry and tradition of these final exercises, as he also joins us here today. I'm Steve Smiley. I'm chairman of the Board of Managers of the Alumni Association, and it is my privilege to welcome you to a very elite group. Welcome to the more than 200,000 alumni of UVA spread all over the world who want to know about you and share with you the common bond that is this wonderful university. I'm also here to tell you a secret. It's a secret that alumni of this university already know, but can only be revealed to you here today, right now. The secret is this. If the university has become home to you, it will remain your home, and you will always be welcome here. If these have been the best years of your life so far, if this is where you grew up, if this is where you have forged a path forward for yourself and generously showed respect and compassion for others along the way, this is home to you. If this is the place where incandescent moments of incredible teaching and learning took place, or if this is a place where your academic career was salvaged through the good graces of caring faculty, this may be really home to you. If this is a place where you have built lifelong friendships, if this is the place where you have suffered disappointments and heartaches and learned to reason through them, if this is the place where you have known successes and even victories and learned to be humble about them, this is home. As alumni of the University of Virginia, grounded in its beliefs, traditions, and ideals, you will now go forward, seeking new challenges and experiences. In happy and in difficult times, the university is always here for you. This is home. Join the Alumni Association. Get involved with the local UVA club wherever you have the good fortune to settle. Give back. Continue to love this place unconditionally. Treat it with the respect it deserves. It is your home. Thank you, God bless you, and wahoo wah.
Thank you. And now the President of the University.
So thank you, Mr. Smiley. The university is fortunate to have so many loyal alumni who are so remarkably dedicated to their alma mater. Those of you who graduate today benefit from the generosity of alumni, parents, and friends who make gifts to the university to improve the quality of life and learning here. Because of their generosity in recent years, we have wonderful new buildings such as the South Lawn, Bavaro Hall, Bryce Hall, Lacey Hall, the Emily Currick Clinical Cancer Center, the Ivy Foundation Translational Research Building, Ruffin Hall, the Ruth Kaplan Theater, the Battle Building, and many others. And we have wonderful programs such as the Jefferson Public Citizens Program, the College Art Scholars, the Contemplative Sciences Center, the Data Science Institute, the Cavalier Marching Band, and the Frank Batten School of Leadership and Public Policy. Loyal donors have helped to make all of this possible in recent years. You yourselves have joined this tradition of giving through your class gift. More than 2,000 members of the class have contributed gifts or pledges totaling almost $500,000. Thank you for that generosity even before you have left the grounds. The Raven Society is the oldest and most prestigious university organization. It recognizes scholarship and other contributions to life here. With us here today are newly elected alumni members of the Raven Society. I would like to ask the newly elected alumni members to please stand and ask you to join me in applauding them. Thank you for your many contributions to the university. I'd like to share some observations about the class of 2015. These students have embodied the university's mission and values through their commitment to scholarship, research, service, and promoting greater understanding of people and cultures around the world. Profiles of members of the class of 2015 have appeared on the university's website and in the Cavalier Daily in recent weeks. Their stories are remarkable, and I encourage you to read them. But each graduate here today has his or her own story of hard work and perseverance. Each of you has done important things during your time here, and we're proud of your achievements. Some of this weekend's graduating students worked diligently to complete their degrees early. 91 students earned their baccalaureate degrees in 3 years, and 2 more did so in only 2 years. In recognition of their effort and as a symbol of their achievement, these students are wearing special orange stoles today. I ask them to please stand now. We congratulate you on your accomplishment, and I welcome you to the Order of the Orange Stole. Awards and scholarships are one measure of the excellence of this class. Among our graduating students this weekend, we have 2 finalists for Rhodes Scholarships, a finalist for a Marshall Scholarship, 9 recipients of Fulbright Scholarships, 2 recipients of Beckman Scholarships, 1 recipient of a Keenan Fellowship, 1 recipient of a Davis Prize for Peace, and 1 Humanity in Action Fellow. 6 undergraduate degree candidates received university awards for projects in the arts, and 37 received Harrison Undergraduate Research Awards. In this weekend's graduating class, 40 students participated in the Jefferson Public Citizens Program that combines research with service. 7 students received double WHO research grants to allow undergraduate and graduate team members to work together. And 5 students received community-based undergraduate research grants. Through this research, our students tackled real-world problems to improve lives locally and around the globe. They've created mentoring programs for students in Charlottesville City and Albemarle County schools. They've improved the skills of nurses working in community health clinics in South Africa. They promoted environmental stewardship among ethnic groups in China. They studied water security and safety in Guatemala. And they designed and built a community center for at-risk teens in Southwest Virginia, among many other projects. You are committed to service. Many of this weekend's graduating students volunteered through Madison House to serve as tutors, construction workers, youth mentors, peer counselors, and in many other roles. Some participated in student service learning classes. This experience is powerful for everyone. You have lived and learned at a truly global university. 1,022 of today's graduating students came to UVA from other countries, bringing an international perspective and enriching life for all of us. And many of our students represented UVA in the world beyond our serpentine walls. 30% of this weekend's graduating students participated in some form of education or research abroad. Thomas Jefferson built a university based on the illimitable freedom of the human mind, so that students would be free, in his words, to explore and to expose every subject susceptible of its contemplation. As you can tell, our students fulfill Jefferson's vision. They explored the boundless possibilities of learning. So now you are prepared to provide vision and leadership at every level of the careers and the communities that you go to from this place. Please join me in a round of applause for the class of 2015. All of today's degree candidates are listed in your program, including those who completed the requirements for their degrees in December or last August. For the candidates from the College and Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, we will award 2,879 total degrees, including 2,500 bachelor's, 196 master's, and 183 PhDs. And now, under authority vested in the general faculty, and by it delegated to me, I will award the degrees. The Dean of the College and Graduate School of Arts and Sciences will present the candidates for degrees. Immediately after these exercises, department graduation ceremonies take place around the grounds, and the locations are listed on the last 2 pages of the finals program.
Executive Vice President and Provost of the University.
the Dean of the College and Graduate School of Arts and Sciences.
That one.
Over here.
You never stop learning. The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy will please rise and remain standing. Madam President, as Dean of the College and Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. I welcome you to the ancient and universal company of scholars.
The Doctors of Philosophy will please be seated. The candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Arts in Physics Education, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Public Health, and Master of Science will please rise and remain standing. Madam President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts in Physics Education, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Public Health, or Master of Science.
I confer upon you the appropriate master's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. I charge you to apply the knowledge you have gained in ways that advance good and humane values.
The Masters of Arts in Physics Education, Masters of Fine Arts, Masters of Public Health, and Masters of Science will please be seated. The candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science in the College of Arts and Science will please rise and remain standing. Madam President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science in Arts and Sciences.
I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and welcome you to the fellowship of educated women and men. I charge you to apply the principles of truth in discourse, of rigor in inquiry, and of pursuit of excellence in your lives, in your professions, and in your engagement with the cultures in which you will live.
The Bachelors of Arts and Sciences will please be seated.
I have a few closing words for the class of 2015. Today, each graduate receives a booklet of Thomas Jefferson's writings about the three creations for which he wanted to be remembered: Virginia's bill for establishing religious freedom, the Declaration of Independence of the United States, and the University of Virginia. A gift from the Alumni Association, this book is meant to be a keepsake of this day and a memento of these years when you have encountered a complex genius who believed that education improves lives and builds character. In the course of your lives, you will belong to other communities and other cultures. Each will have its own values and customs. I hope you will take with you as you leave here the values that have distinguished you as students in this community of learners. Most of us experience times in our life when it might be easiest to follow the path of self-interest, to keep quiet when truth is obscured, to avoid participating in the fray. And in these times, you may be tempted to compromise your values, to argue the easy point rather than the valid point, to follow blindly or to lead on others' terms and not your own. At these times, reread this booklet describing Jefferson's singular creations and recall that each of them came as a result of perseverance, sacrifice, and a personal commitment to enduring values. If we have done right by you, you have already absorbed some of Mr. Jefferson's qualities of tough-mindedness, optimism, and determination to effect change. Now, as you go, cultivate in yourselves the tenacity to hold elected officials and yourselves as well to strict account. Engage in the political process that builds durable and systematic change when change is due. Work as educated citizens to protect individual freedom, your own and the freedom of those who depend on you. Contribute to the work that is essential to sustaining a democracy. And in all that you do, commit yourselves and your fortunes to the common good. These are our fondest hopes for you. Godspeed and God bless you.
After graduates and their guests have had ample time to reach their ceremony sites. If your ceremony is scheduled to begin at 1 p.m. or sooner, please proceed directly to the fair weather venue. And now, graduates, please stand for the singing of the good old song.